Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be jumping into the world of Xenoblade. We're going to start with Xenoblade Chronicles X. We're going to look at how it does on our four pillars: the visual, the audio, the story and the gameplay. Now without further ado, let's jump on the White Whale. For years, one of the most ambitious open worlds was trapped on the Wii U, but that wait is finally over now that Xenoblade Chronicles X is available on Switch and Switch 2. Now it brings massive scale, but what about the mechanical complexity and the customizable mechs? Do they live up to the hype? Bringing it to a whole new audience, is this the definitive way to experience Mira? Let's put it to the test. So let's start with the visuals. The Switch edition is definitely a significant leap. The art design of Mira has always been top tier, but the additional power of the Switch makes the alien biomes pop like never before. From the glowing fauna to the towering peaks, the sense of scale is absolutely staggering. Because even this many years later, very few games manage to make a world feel as vast and as inviting as they have done with Mira. Next up, we are on to the audio. So when we're looking at the soundtrack that is experimental as it is iconic, the music perfectly matches that frontier vibe of the game, and the voice acting remains strong, albeit with that traditional Xenoblade cheese that you expect. The design of the Skells and the combat provide a great sense of impact. It's bold, it's different, and while the soundtrack might be an acquired taste to some, it undeniably defines this game's identity. Now we are on to the story, and Xenoblade Chronicles X is a bit of a departure for the series. It's less about the linear journey and more about the lore of survival on a new planet. What there is really good, especially once the plot picks up in the latter half. But I do wish it was more story driven from the start. Big gripe here is that most of the character development is tucked away in affinity missions, which whilst they can be fun, I just wish there was a bit more in the main story. I wish there was more of a main path scene for these character casts before chapter 12, where they really come in all at once. It's a fascinating world with a great premise and a great plot that I just wish it was a bit more developed, and it takes a little too long to find its stride. Now we're on to the gameplay. So the core loop of exploration and combat is addictive as ever, and the Switch edition brings some really nice quality of life differences compared to its Wii U counterpart. The highlight, of course, it has got to be the Skells. Riding and flying around in your own mech is an absolute blast and changes how you view the world entirely. You go from a small human roaming around to all of a sudden you're in this massive mech and you can see beyond everything. You have a massive roster of characters to add to your party. The customization is endless. It lands here so deep and rewarding, though the sheer amount of systems can be a lot to manage, but they have definitely toned that down from the Wii U version, which I think as a whole makes it a bit more of a palatable, enjoyable experience. So Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Switch is the version of the game that we always deserved, and whilst the narrative pacing keeps it from perfection, the sheer joy of exploring Mira is unbelievable, and doing that as a giant robot is something that every RPG fan should experience, which is why this game gets the TH verdict of 33 out of 40. Thank you guys so much for watching. Are you a veteran of the Wii U and you've returned to Mira, or was this your first time suiting up in your Skell? Let me know in the comments, and as ever, if you enjoy these, please leave a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated, and I shall see you in the next TH Verdict.